This morning, we're going to start with this book by Jim Collins. And if you'll turn to that presentation outline, How the Mighty Fall. And this is the third major book that Jim Collins has written. Well, this book is not upbeat. You know, we're talking about decline, bankruptcy, liquidation. You know, these are not upbeat kinds of topics. But I want to give you two quotes that are not in your packet to try to give you some inspiration about this. On the back cover, he says, whether you prevail or fail, endure or die, depends more on what you do to yourself than on what the world does to you. And then late in the book, and I love to reorganize people's books. That's one of the things that we do at these synopses. I want to read you something from the back of the book that, again, is not in your outline. And he says this as a result of all of this research that he did. This new research is enlarging our understanding of the principles and strategies needed to prevail in a turbulent world. Our research shows that it is possible to build a great institution that sustains exceptional performance for multiple decades, perhaps longer, even in the face of chaos, disruption, uncertainty, and violent change. In fact, our research shows that if you've been practicing the principles of greatness all the way along, you should get down on your knees and pray for severe turbulence, for that's when you can pull even further ahead of those who lack your relentless intensity. But beware. If you get caught in the stages of decline during turbulent times, if you succumb to hubris, overreaching, denial, and grasping for quick fixes, your fall will be faster and more violent than in stable times. And one of the things that this book starts with, and I put this on the top of your presentation as outline, is how do you know that you are in the beginning of this stage of decline? And he says, you know, when you're at the top of the world, the most powerful nation on earth, the most successful company in your industry, the best player in your game, your very power and success might cover up the fact that you're already on the path to decline. So how would you know? And that's what led to the development of the 5 stages of decline that he talks about in this book. Institutional decline is a stage disease reminds him, he says, that it's harder to detect but easier to cure in the early stages, easier to detect but harder to cure in the later stages, which of course is true of almost all human diseases, and you can make that link to organizations as well, because you can look strong on the outside but already being sick and getting sick. What I'd like to do is describe to you these 5 stages of decline and give you a little bit of flavor of some of the companies and what they did as they went through the 5 stages. Stage 1 is a great description of this overbearing pride and arrogance that you get to before the fall, and you think that you are really something. And as you'll notice, success is viewed as an entitlement. Companies lost sight of underlying factors that produced their success in the first place, and they overestimate their own merits and capabilities. The ending quote on your presentation outline is kind of an upbeat line. He talks about the idea that, in fact, you don't give in, you don't give up, change tactics, but never give up your purpose. And so many companies that do fall into decline, that is the problem they have. They stray, they look for the silver bullet. It is a very well-researched book. It's also, as you can see, not a thick one. I'm not saying it's an easy read, but it won't take you a month. It's not War and Peace. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this synopsis of How the Mighty Fall.